Hello, and welcome to Moving On Up, a new podcast on education-related topics, which is brought to you by the students, for the students, with the support of Aspire Higher. If you're looking for more information on higher education, then this is the place to be. Our podcast is available on the Aspire Higher website and also on our YouTube. So please do check out our website, but also hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel to receive notifications on our monthly podcast. We hope you enjoy listening to us.
Okay, hi everyone. We're just going to quickly introduce ourselves to get going. So my name is Holly. I'm studying International Business with French at the University of Birmingham, and I'm in my third year. So Daniel, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hiya, my name is Daniel. I'm a business management student at Nottingham Trent, and I'm in my final year as well.
And I'm Erica, and I'm studying English language at the University of Birmingham, same as Holly, and I'm also in my final year.
Okay, so today's topic is an introduction about our first steps into higher education. So firstly, we're going to talk about why we decided to go to uni. So Erica, why don't we start with you?
So for me, I actually think I did kind of always know that I wanted to go uni, and that was the sort of path that I wanted to go down. My mum went to uni, so I think sometimes that can kind of like help to make it seem more accessible. But my dad didn't go, but I think he also played a role in sort of like encouraging me to go, because I think he maybe wished that he had have had that opportunity. So yeah, that's kind of, it always to me was where I knew I'd end up going. It was more of a case of what I was going to study for me that I was kind of unsure about.
Yeah, I think that was really similar to me. That was the same kind of situation. I think I always had uni at the back of my mind, and I always knew I was going to go to uni, and the kind of whole idea of going to uni always seemed really exciting. Meeting new people, studying something new, going somewhere new. So yeah, it always seemed really exciting to me. I think it was more kind of the like more detailed problems, like where I was going to study and what course I was going to study, which was a bit more challenging, but I'll go on to talk about that a little bit more later.
Yeah,
I think as well, I knew my mum wanted me to go to university, so I was kind of influenced by my parents. So but I didn't really know what I wanted to study at university, and I feel like through school, definitely I didn't enjoy school that much. But then when I went to university, it was definitely something. When you study one thing that you really enjoy, it does make a whole lot, like it makes a lot of difference. And I didn't realize that until I went to university, and I don't really think I enjoyed learning as much as I do now before I went to uni as well. But definitely how I decided where I wanted to go is because I had a few friends that went to my university, so I went to visit the university just to see if that uni was a good fit for me, really. So it wasn't until I went to Nottingham and saw the city, then I was like, yeah, I definitely want to go there.
Yeah, I had an opposite experience. I had a friend at a uni already who I went to visit, and like she absolutely loved it and I just hated it. Like I knew as soon as I got there that I didn't like it. It obviously is really useful, like going to visit. I think sometimes it will be really clear cut straight away if you can kind of see yourself there or not.
Yeah, I agree. I think kind of for me, like when I visited the Uni of Birmingham, I got kind of like a bit of a buzz. Like you kind of get a bit of a feeling that you know that uni might be for you, whereas like Eric said, other unis it's quite clear cut that maybe that uni's not for you. But yeah, I think definitely going to have a look at unis is really helpful and was really helpful for me. Yeah, definitely. So how was your like journey getting into higher education? Was it always a smooth process for you guys, or did you have any failures along the way?
Yeah, I feel like you can't really. We do wish life was perfect, but it's really not, isn't it? You do hit some obstacles, but definitely going into university. So in my first year, I studied computer science, and then I don't know why I could do it, but I sat down to myself, and I feel like that's where the maturity really kicked in. Whilst I was at university, I just sat down with myself and said, yeah, I don't think I can see myself studying this for the next 3 years. And I just tried. I didn't want to leave uni because one, I knew that I wanted to stay there, and second of all, course, I wanted to make my parents proud.
Mm-hmm.
So I just said, I need to find a course which is for me. So I kind of just had to think. Then I thought, you know what, business is always something. Before I applied for uni, I wanted to do business. Then last minute I switched. So then studied business, and then now I'm in my final year. It's probably the best thing that I've ever done is changing course as well. But even before that, I definitely feel like, so coming up to, let's say, my GCSEs, it was very exam based. And then when I went to sixth form, I did BTECs, and changing the method in which I studied kind of made me realize that, yeah, I can excel in doing, let's say, coursework. And going to university as well, that kind of influenced me making sure I did a course which was heavy on coursework. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
In terms of getting to uni, yeah, I'd say the biggest obstacle that I faced was just not knowing what I wanted to do. Yeah, I enjoyed school. College, I was a bit like in between. And like for a long time, none of the subjects that I really studied at college were kind of like jumping out at me. So yeah, that was kind of my biggest struggle, and in the end I just kind of went with the one that I liked the most, because to me I think the reason I wanted to go to uni was more just to get a degree, and I maybe wasn't as concerned kind of what subject it was going to be in, because I didn't know, and kind of still don't exactly know what I want to do. I wanted to just pick like a subject that was quite broad and could get me into a lot of different things, which is obviously why I ended up picking English. But yeah, I think that was a big obstacle.
I feel like a lot of students as well think they need to know what they want to do, but I can tell up until probably last year, I was not too sure what I wanted to do. It's just about doing
literally.
Yeah. I think sorry, Holly, you go.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing about degrees, because although some parts of them are so specialised, they're also so broad, and they don't just teach you subject core knowledge. You know, there's so much more that goes into it, like interpersonal skills you pick up on the way, which will be useful for any kind of job or any discipline, not just, you know, if you're doing business related jobs. There'll be so many disciplines out there suitable. Definitely.
I think like one of the things that puts some people off going uni is because they kind of think that it's something you do when you kind of know what you want to do in the future and you know what path you're on. But I actually think completely opposite sometimes. I think that it's a good thing to do if you actually don't know what you want to do.
I'd really agree with you there. I'd really agree. I think that's kind of been the situation for me. Like, before I went to uni, I kind of had an interest in business, enjoyed that kind of field because I did economics at A-level. And it wasn't until I got to uni, and yes, I know what I want to do now and possibly the sector I want to go into, but it wasn't until I got to uni and the opportunities that were available at uni helped me decide that, and helped me kind of notice doors that had opened for me going to uni, and they allowed me to see the different opportunities that I could go into after I'd finished at uni, which I think I think, like I said, like there's so many free opportunities for you when you get to uni. There's so much advice you can take advantage of, like careers advice, careers fairs, you know, speeches from guest lecturers, that kind of thing, which are all really helpful in the long run when kind of deciding where you want to go. Definitely.
It's like the staff, I'll never forget certain staff members because they've had such a big influence in kind of thinking about what you want to do when you finish university, and they're able to direct you to, like, let's say, the right people or the right information for you to do further research as well. So it's not literally just about the lecturers that speak to you. There's so many other people involved with the uni that can basically help you to see what you could be doing at the end of your degree. Because as the same for me, I didn't really know what I wanted to do before I went to university, or even during university until, let's say, last year. So it's an experience. It's not just about getting your degree and going. I feel like there's a lot more to uni that people don't realize.
Yeah, definitely. I'd agree. And I think, obviously, a bit aside from that, one of my other kind of failures that I had along the way was when I was applying for uni. I was told that I had to get a B in GCSE English language to go to the uni I wanted to go to. and I hadn't actually got that. So I had to speak to teachers, and they were kind of like rearranging me to resit my GCSE English language. So it was quite like a stressful process at the time, because I was going to be sitting A levels and resitting a GCSE because I really wanted to go to this university. And a teacher approached me one day and said, just apply for the uni. There's nothing stopping you, just apply. And in the end, I didn't actually need that B, and I didn't need to resit the GCSE English language. So I think it just shows you, if you put a lot of passion into your application and you work really hard for it, then there's no reason why you shouldn't get there.
Yeah. I kind of had something similar, like grade wise. When I applied, I think the entry grades that it said I needed was AAB. And then I got offered a reduced offer, which I think was ABB. And I ended up getting 3 Bs, and obviously I still got in. So yeah, obviously it is really stressful, and when you're applying, like you say, you do kind of think like, is it a wasted, you know, am I wasting one of my 5 choices? Is there no chance I'm going to get in here? But I think definitely, like, more times than not, it's definitely worth you know, just applying and sort of using a couple of your 5 choices to like aim high and aim to the universities that you really want to get into, because I think often a lot of people end up getting into places that maybe they thought that they wouldn't, or like I say, like reduced offers and things like that.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point as well. For me, I kind of put down the university that was higher at the top that I really wanted to go to, and then as my backup I put an unconditional offer that I got down. So that kind of gave me a bit like a safety net, so I knew I was going somewhere, and the grades were lower for that uni anyway. So like I said, a bit of a safety net, so you've still got something to reach high for, and then still something to kind of fall back on a little bit. But so would you guys give any tips to students aspiring to go to uni? Is there any advice you'd give them?
Definitely, I feel like believing in your ability and believing in yourself is definitely a big thing, because you need to be motivated through the process of applying to university. Like, the UCAS process is probably very stressful when you think about it, but I know when we probably look back at it now, it wasn't all that stressful. to do your application, because it will be worth it when you get there. And I feel like going to university, the degree, of course, is what you're wanting to go to university for, but I've learned so much about myself, about life in general, and I feel like I've been able to excel in many areas of my life because I've been to university, and just having a bit of structure as well. I honestly feel like I'm saying this from personally. I just think university's probably been one of the best things that has happened to me. Definitely the time of between the ages of like 18 and 21, I feel like it's quite important to have an experience with uni during them ages. So I feel like if you want to go, just go for it. If you don't like it, at least you've tried it, and you can tell yourself that you've tried it, so you won't look back and think, oh, I wish I went, I wish I did this. So
my tips would probably be similar to what I just said. When you're picking your universities, go for I think we got 5 options, didn't we? I'm presuming it's still the same.
Yeah, that was what I got.
Pick a range of unis, put one on there that is kind of like your absolute dream, even if it seems like a little bit unreachable, because you never know, and you've still got them other 4 options. What else? Thought of something else, but it's gone. Holly, you speak.
I think for me, one kind of tip that I'd advise when actually applying for uni is, when you're doing your personal statement, try and get as many different people to read it as possible. Like, it's never harmful having another set of eyes read over it, and it's always kind of good to get a different opinion, because that personal statement really sets you out from other students, and having lots of different viewpoints can really kind of give a bit of an edge to your personal statement. And yes, it is very stressful with the application, and it did stress me out writing a personal statement. I probably wrote it about 5 times, but it was definitely worth it in the end. And I think my second piece of advice would be, once you're at university, take advantage of as many opportunities as possible, because there are so many out there, and it's actually kind of unbelievable the amount of opportunities that universities offer and the amount of kind of associations and societies that are out there and the amount of things you can get involved in, that can open other doors for you. You know, they can really broaden your network and help you decide what you want to do. Like for me, for example, I'm quite interested in the financial sector, and only from studying at uni have I become more aware of the financial sector and the opportunities available there, and the opportunities that are only available to students that have graduated or are in the process of doing a degree, from university organised events or university boot camps, or kind of guest speakers that come in the evening at university. So yeah, for me, I think those opportunities are brilliant and they can really guide you and help you, and there's always something to learn from them. And so yeah, that would be my second piece of advice. So did you want to add anything else, Erica? Did it pop back to you, or?
No, it hasn't.
No.
I ain't got anything.
Okay. No. Anything else? No. Anyone else want to say anything about their journey at university?
You're putting me in the spot now.
I don't know. I guess I'd just say, like, kind of linking to what you just said, Holly. I would just say that, like, your university experience can be, like, so kind of tailored to you, and I would say almost sometimes there's, like, a little bit too much pressure, like, to go to uni and, like, try all of these new things and, you know, join 50 societies and all of this stuff. So yeah, as, like, maybe, like, slightly a counteract to what you just said, I would just say that yeah, you should definitely, like, put yourself out there and try things, but also, you know, it is just a completely kind of, like I said, it can just be tailored to what you want. So you don't have to put too much pressure on yourself to be out every day. Like, there is kind of downtime and chill time as well.
Yeah, I'd agree with that there, definitely. And it's kind of your independence, so you choose what to do with your time and how to use it, which is a nice thing. And it's nice having that balance, so having that time with your friends, you know, you go to your lectures, and if you want to do something else, then go for it. If that time's there, then, you know, you can use it, definitely.
I feel like people definitely they think making friends is probably one. Well, I know I was quite worried about making friends when I went to university.
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's an easier place to make friendships ever, because everyone is open to talking, because everyone's in the same boat. Everyone's new to the new environment. So making friends is probably the easiest place, and I'm still very good friends with people that I met literally the second I stepped on campus. So
Yeah, I think literally when I first got to uni, I was so nervous about making friends, which I was really shocked about, because normally I'm not kind of nervous about those kind of things. But for weeks I was kind of like, oh my God, when am I going to find a group of friends? But it just happens naturally, and you fall into a group of friends, and before you know it, you're all really good friends and you all bounce off each other. But looking back in hindsight, it's not something to worry about. It's just something that happens naturally.
Yeah, I think the situations that you put in with, like, being in halls, obviously, if you move away and things like that, it's like you say, it's easy to make friends. Like, the situations that you're in are kind of set up for that purpose. So I think it does definitely happen, like, more naturally than what you probably expect it to, and you obviously worry about it. But yeah, everyone's in the same boat, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely.
cool.
Yeah. Okay, is that everything, guys? We'll round it up for today.
Thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed our first episode, and stay tuned to hear us for our second episode. Cool.
Thank you. Bye.
If you're looking for more information on higher education, then this is the place to be. Our podcast is available on the Aspire Higher website and also on our YouTube. So please do check out our website, but also hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel to receive notifications on our monthly podcast. We hope you enjoy listening to us.